Mayuri and I have known each other for quite a long time, and she approached me to get involved in this project. And it's quite new to me, but it's been a very fascinating project to work with.
At the moment, the work has been with 2 dancers and a sculpture within 3 different spaces that we've tried. But what I would like to see is to be taking it outdoors as well as into bigger, large-scale places, indoors as well. Expanding from 2 dancers to 10 dancers, so the durational aspect of the performance can run for, say, 10 hours. I think what's unique about this work is that it doesn't require people to come to the work, but there's some flexibility in this work where actually the work can be taken to the people. Some people who actually go and see no dance at all, don't go and see South Asian dance, who don't actually maybe not even go and see any visual art, may not even know how to interact with sculpture, they may not know what sound art is. You get a whole mix of these things. So people from, say, ages of, I don't know, 2 to 90 can come and see it, and they can stay as long as they want or leave within, say, 2 minutes.
Part of the brief when I made this was obviously it had a certain scale and it had to come apart. It has to be able to be transported, and we never really know, because of the nature of the kind of spaces it might go to, we don't know quite how accessible spaces are. So what's great about this one is that it does actually break down into smaller parts. The difficulty from the sort of sculptural point of view is trying to arrive at something that doesn't lose its sense of completeness through being made in sections, and I think it works very well in that sense, that we can take it apart, put it together, and it still feels like a kind of monumental object.
I think that Jeff and I have been talking about this, and I think there are elements within the sculpture that can be expanded. At the moment it's one piece with 2 different structures to it, but I think separate structures that actually expand outside the sculpture will give it a bit more breadth and space. And in terms of the sound, what I would like to do, my dream would be to have an installation that actually runs for a long period of time, say 10 hours, and the sound runs throughout that period and the dance runs throughout that period, as well as the sculpture being there. And people can move around. I mean, I think at the moment people are not moving around enough. And I think it'd be really great for them to really find a moment in there to be brave enough to get up and actually walk around and see the dance and the sculpture from a different place. Because what they'll discover is they'll see something completely different.
Every space is very different, and in a way that's why it would be good if the piece became more adaptable, if we could actually include other elements in it, and possibly even other dancers, more dancers, or we've obviously brought into the piece now the sound element of it, which would be great if we could actually develop that still further, where we would actually have the sounds from different points of the room, which would end up being much more sculptural and much more related to the dance and the movement as well. So I think all of these things are good to work with, and every time we put it on, Mayuri and I more or less think about other things that we could do, really.
One of my favourite moments that I took away with me through the 3 days performances here in London is that I saw a group of young people come in from Laban Trinity, and their mouths were just hanging open, their eyes were wide open, and I just thought, wouldn't it be lovely to engage those young people, to experience what it means to actually make dance for a non-theatre space, to make dance where they don't have to follow every beat in a particular music, but they really engage with the physicality and with each other in that space. And I think it would be great to do that.